he would say distribution are letting us down. They're not getting the goods to us in time, or what we want when we want it, that type of thing. You know, we just couldn't cope. And so lots of steps were taken to, you know, what quick remedies, quick cures could we introduce in distribution to overcome these problems. You know, what else could we do? And so there was a hell of a lot going on in a very short period, or introduced very quickly. We hoped for a short period until things settled down, but they took off, and we kept the momentum going. But there was a need also, besides these other temporary premises to deliver goods. A lot of suppliers were more or less forced to deliver direct to the shops as well, because we just couldn't take it through the warehouses. Yeah. And that's when the start of supplier consolidation came into being. That kind of started about the 1979 time, whilst I was still in distribution, but really developed and improved from that time to a more cost efficient and proficient service as well.
So in the run-up to Operation Checkout, were there any changes made to distribution?
Oh no, because Operation Checkout was in total secrecy. Only certain people in the company knew what was going to happen. Retail would have been told one thing, what they needed to know. Distribution were told one thing, what they needed to know, and so on. It was total secrecy, even within Tesco, to make sure that our competitors weren't aware, and even the customers were kept curious, because I think it was over a bank holiday weekend, I believe, and the before never been considered thing of not only close for the bank holiday but also close the day after, to keep the customers curious as to what was going on. And also all the shop fronts had all their posters, had all their kind of promotional material removed, because we didn't know what was happening to prices. We hadn't a clue that they were going to suddenly change all the pricing structure. All the shops were given the same specific posters to say, watch this space, basically, and all around the posters, everything else was that whited out, so people could not peer through a window to see what was going on in the shop. So over the kind of bank holiday weekend, when the shop was closed, each shop, the staff in the shop went through an absolutely tremendous change of repricing of the products, ready for a big blaze of publicity, reopening, not the day after the bank holiday, but the day after that. You know, and it was, the way it was done was unbelievable. In actual fact, I was in distribution only a few weeks, about 2 or 3 weeks before Operation Checkout. We were warned that we were told what we needed to know, but something was going to something big was going to happen, and so I knew a little bit more than most people in the company, but I didn't know really what was happening on the retail side, other than the shops will be closed for the day after the bank holiday. What was happening to externally to the shops, things of that nature. In fact, I'm a bit unclear as to whether I actually knew that Green Shield stamps were going to be withdrawn at that stage, or was told, with only a kind of day or two to go, that that's really what was behind it all. I can't. The memory's playing tricks on me now, because I know now that's what it was all about. I can't think, did I actually know that beforehand. I'm unclear.
And what did you think of it once it all came out in the open?
Unbelievable. It was, to say it was successful was the understatement of the decade. Excited by it, proud of it. You know that the company had done this and achieved a tremendous success from it. Yeah, we all went along on the wave.
And what do you think it actually did for Tesco?
Well, upped their credibility, improved their standing in the city, made the competitors step back and take stock. And there was one other thing I've got to mention at the time, to coincide with Operation Checkout. Sainsbury's, who were the leaders, had an industrial dispute, about the one and only industrial dispute I can ever remember they had, coincided with Checkout, and so they weren't operating, and so we got an extra load of customers from Sainsbury's, some of which never went back.
Might actually take a pause.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So I just wondered if you could tell me about how you moved from distribution back into computing.
Right. During my period in distribution, the senior manager for the computer division below the holdings board director, who was a friend and colleague of mine in my IT days, approached me a few times about returning in a senior capacity. But I was doing well in distribution, learning a lot, progressing, enjoying it, so I turned him down each time. Anyway, in 1979, in the distribution reorganisation, by that time we had a new boss who I didn't get on with. He wanted to sweep with a new broom, and I was going to be one of the casualties. So I decided that I'd like to move back to IT, bring my skills up to date, and then probably move on to a distribution job somewhere. So I approached IT, and they said yes. They welcomed me with open arms, but not in a senior capacity. But I was quite happy with that, bearing in mind my objectives. And anyway, so I transferred back to IT something like March 1980. For the first few months, undergoing training, I was on special projects, getting involved in this, getting involved with that type of thing, and also attended a couple of residential training courses to bring my certain experience of new features, new developments, things of that nature, up to date. Thoroughly enjoyed that. The 4 weeks residential was at a very nice hotel in Bournemouth on the front. I can't remember the name of it now. Anyway, that was a course run by Hoskins, who were notable IT consultancy and training organisation at the time. And on return from that, I was given a few small projects to deal with myself. And then, about October time 1980, they were creating a new team to develop what in Tesco terms is called the product file system. That's the details, the central recording of all details to do with products, whether they be warehouse products, direct products or whatever.
to develop a formal central